Yo guys, welcome back to another video. We're starting spring break off right by uploading some more content in my free time. So today I just got finished reading with Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Starting to read JJK. Hopefully over spring break I'll get a good way through it. And hopefully, by the end of the month, there might be a JJK review. We'll see what happens. But I'm trying to spend a lot of time during my time off getting through it the best I can. But a few weeks ago, I guess now, whenever the movie came out, I went to see it, and I was actually working on a video for a minute there to do a review of the movie, but then I kind of scrapped that idea because I knew that I was going to be reading it here soon. So I figured I would wait and just review JJK 0 in a standalone video once I read the manga, and do like sort of a comparison and review of JJK 0. So that is what I'm here to do today. I'm going to be talking about the movie, talking about the manga, doing some comparing and contrasting, and then give you guys my thoughts overall. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I guess I'll start by giving just a basic synopsis of what is JJK 0. So basically, JJK 0 follows main character Yuta, who has been cursed by his childhood best friend, girlfriend. She died when she was very young, and she came back as like this curse, massive, super powerful curse. Her name's Rika, and he ends up, messing fools up, and now he's scared to go outside because he's scared that Rika will be unleashed and start wreaking havoc. So he tries to kill himself, fails because Rika won't let him kill himself. She's kind of like a stand in a way. She won't let anybody hurt him or let him even hurt himself. So that's pretty dope. So anyway, he gets captured, I guess, by the Jujutsu sorcerers, and they're planning like his execution, just like Yuji at the beginning of the main series. And like Yuji, he gets taken up by Satoru Gojo, the man, the myth, the legend himself, and he basically joins his group of first years, which includes Maki, Panda, and speech user guy whose name I forgot. And it takes place, years prior to the main series, so all three of them are in their first years as well. And they're, they kind of have this group, and it's sort of Yuta discovering how Jujutsu works, and, just discovering how this whole new world works. And they end up having to fight against Gojo's best friend, Geto, and he starts this whole Jujutsu war called the Night Parade of 100 demons, or 1,000 demons, or something like that, on Christmas Eve. And so there's this huge Jujutsu battle, and yeah, that's basically what happens. I'm not gonna talk too much about what happens just yet, but that's like the basic synopsis. So I am going to be talking about things that I did really like, and things that I didn't like as much, or things that I think are faults in JJK 0 as a series, or not like as a series, but like, I don't know how to explain it, like as its own thing. So that includes both the manga and the movie. So things that I thought it did well, I really liked how it's a prequel, kinda. It's a prequel to the main series, and it sort of goes more, I feel like it's really, in a way, sort of more character depth for Gojo as a character, because it shows stuff that happens with him and his best friend, who is the main villain. So it shows that stuff happen, but it also gives more character depth, I guess, to the other three students who we already know from the main series. And yes, I am reading JJK 0 before reading the main series, because, I mean, I thought that made sense in, like, you know, numerical order and chronological order. But of course, I watched the first season of the anime, so I know how this stuff works. So people consider it to be a prequel to the main series, but even, like, an argument could be made that the main series is a sequel to JJK 0, since JJK 0 came out first, if that makes sense. So, but Yuji and a lot of the other characters, I think, what's his name? Fushiguro, it even has a part in the beginning, I guess I can't really show you, but it's saying, you know, these characters look very similar, but they're not the same characters. So, yeah, that was one thing I did like, is how Yuta's basically like a mirror of Yuji and like his whole story. Not to mention, this is also my first experience with the JJK manga, so my first experience with like the way they're drawn in the manga and the way everything just looks, because my only prior knowledge of the series really just came from the anime. And I gotta say, I do really like the character designs and just the but like the art style of JJK. You guys know that I'm a sucker for like that, like pretty rigid, but also like gritty, somewhat unrefined style. And again, I gotta mention it, that's why I love the art style in Chainsaw Man, so I can compare those two. I love that sort of art, you know, it doesn't always have to look super clean and bubbly, you know, just like the gritty, rigid, you know, again, somewhat unrefined style, I absolutely love. But there, again, it's kind of a double-sided thing where I like that, but I feel like this series does it a little bit too much, it's too much of a degree, if that, like, I don't know how else to put it, but I think that the art is inconsistently good. So like, it can be really good at some points, but especially in like action scenes, it's definitely very messy, and I don't like it as much. Like, action scenes and like the character designs get kind of weird, and not a fan of that. I wish it would stay consistently good throughout the entire series, or throughout the entire volume, I guess, since I'm assuming that applies to the rest of JJK, but since we're talking about just 0, you know, I'll try and refer to it as just this one volume. Yeah, I wish it would stay consistently good throughout the entire volume, but there are just so many parts when there's a lot of movement happening, and also some parts where there isn't a whole lot of movement. It just gets really messy, and the art is just kind of not good. So, but there is a lot of potential there, because there's some parts where the art is excellent and the characters look super awesome, and then there's other parts where it's just kind of like, why wouldn't you want the whole thing to just look amazing, you know? So that's one gripe that I did have, but overall, I mean, the character designs, the environments, and just that overall art style is really awesome. The story and almost all of the plot stuff that happens in this volume and in the movie is really cool. I really dug it. Very awesome. But what I had a problem with is, because it's all supposed to be just condensed, it was very rushed. I wish that there was some way that we could have like maybe three volumes is so much. 2 volumes maybe, that's just telling, like, this needed to be something, there needed to be more time, I feel like. You know, I really like the direction that Yuta's character went, and like his arc over the volume and over the movie, but there just needed to be more time in between that. It just felt super forced. Yeah, wasn't a fan of that, but again, it was really cool what happened. It just happened too quickly for it to even feel like anything paid off, you know? It's like, oh, so now you're like this now. Okay. You know, it wasn't like you could see a clear character arc, you know? It just needed more time, which is something that also I think the movie did very well with versus the manga, is that a lot of the action scenes, and this is, again, goes with the whole argument of manga or anime, the anime did a very good job of doing the action scenes. The first time I really noticed it in this volume is when Maki and Yuta first go to like the school, and she wipes out all three of those curses with one swipe. In the manga, super anticlimactic. Like, she does like one move and it's literally like half a page and then it's all over with. And then, but in the movie, she does like, there's like this whole sequence where she jumps and spins and does this whole slashing thing. Really awesome moment in the anime or movie or whatever. But in the manga, it just kind of, you know, it was like, it wasn't even a 2-page spread, I don't think. It was like, it just happened. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was one thing that I did think that the movie did very well versus the manga, is scenes like that were just so much cooler. Besides it being rushed in both the anime and the manga, and also the manga's art style being kind of hit or miss at points, in my opinion, I think overall it's really awesome, and I can't wait to get into reading the main series, but especially the art style thing has me kind of worried. I won't lie. I hope that, you know, it gets better, the art gets better throughout, because I feel like it's kind of hard to judge the whole series based off of something that was, you know, sort of just a basic submission into Shonen Jump that wasn't even supposed to become what it is today. So it's definitely most likely an unrefined version of what the main series is. So I don't think it's fair to like judge the main series completely on this, especially this is only a single volume too. It's trying to tell this whole story within 4 chapters. It's just not fair to, but I will say it does have me a little bit worried. But yeah, overall, I think JJK0 is pretty cool. I think that the movie was definitely super overhyped though for what it was. I thought it was going to be like, yo, this is a masterpiece, but like, nah. I didn't think that. It was definitely very well done with, you know, with what source material they were given. I definitely preferred the movie over the manga, just because a lot of those big fights and action sequences looked so much better. Mappa did a great job, you know, adapting it in the movie. It looked great versus the manga. So I will say that. Overall, though, it wasn't super highly impressed. You know, it was a bit of a letdown, a bit anticlimactic, but I liked where it was headed, and the content overall was a dope story. So yeah, those are sort of my thoughts. That is going to about do it for the video, though. That was my review of JJK0, talking about the manga and the anime, or the movie or whatever. I hope you guys did enjoy, and let me know in the comments if your opinion differs at all, because I'm pretty sure, what was it? The JJK movie did better. I don't know if it did better overall, but I think it may have done better than the Demon Slayer movie did. At least I think it was in its opening day, it did better than the Demon Slayer movie, but I think Demon Slayer might still have it beat overall. I'm not sure. I have to fact check that, but I think it was in its opening day it did better than the Demon Slayer movie. So a lot of people really enjoyed it, apparently. So it made a ton of money. So yeah, and JJK is one of the biggest series out there. So I'm trying not to let, you know, hype and stuff cloud my judgment, as I feel like it kind of has in the past. So yeah, trying to have an open mind, but like also you know, a clear mind, you know. So anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.